Welcome in, everybody, to a new episode of What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo. Hi, Jim.
Hi. Hey, we're at the beach today.
I know. I'm Devon O'Day, and we're here in this incredible beachy exhibit. We're going to talk about the rhino iguana today.
That's right. They're sitting right behind us, and we have Holly's going to come on a little bit later and tell us all about rhino iguanas. Yeah.
But there are so many things happening at the zoo, so many things. And this is the time, if you don't have reservations for certain things, you might be out of luck. Let's start at some of the things happening at the zoo. First, the Zoo Run.
That's right. That's coming up on March 1st. 5K run through the zoo.
Oh,
you get to see not only the areas that the public normally walks through, but there's also some behind-the-scenes stuff that you run through. And you don't have to run. You can walk it. We see a lot of moms come out with strollers and push their kids through it. It's a great fundraiser for the zoo. We are a nonprofit organization, so it really helps us with a lot of our operations as well as our conservation work that we do. And it's also a nice way to be able to get out kind of in those doldrums of winter and get out and do something, get a little exercise in and spend time with the family or a loved one or whatever. Just come on out and enjoy it. It includes a costume contest. So we encourage people to dress up in animal costumes. We have people that run as flamingos and giraffes and penguins and
Team Turtle.
all kinds. That's right. You can run as a turtle. That would be good for me.
That's me, yeah.
So then you can win backstage pass tours for the costume contest. So lots of great prizes. There's medals this year that we're offering up. So lots of different ways to get involved. Go to the zoo's website, sign up. It's March 1st. The zoo will close early that day because we have to prep for, runners running through the zoo. We don't want anybody to get run over. So we have to shut down the zoo a little early and then we let the runners loose.
So what time does the Zoo Run start?
Oh, I think the kickoff is like 3:00. I think we close the zoo at like 1:00, and then we get everybody registered and lined up.
So it's not one of those at sunup ones.
No, yeah, those.
Lord,
yeah, that's the hardest part about running a 5K is rolling out of bed, isn't it?
I know, you're right. I'm going, oh no, I can't do it. And Shelley in our Main Street office, they do a 5K every month, and I'm Shelley. The Zoo Run.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good one to do for March, and you get it out of the way early, so you have a whole month to, lie around before you have the next.
That's right. And whatever weather it is you run in it, I've learned that this is what people do with weather. Runners, if it's snowing, sleeting, they run anyway, right?
Yeah, we've been having this run now for close to 20 years, and I'm always surprised at the people that say, I really like running in the rain, or I like running when it's really cold. I get it when it's cold because you get hot when you run a 5K, so having the cooler weather and pulling that heat off you can be really comfortable to run around in. So I get a little bit of that. The rain, I don't know about that, but you never know.
Well, we've got something. If you are not a runner or necessarily a 5K walker, you might be into teddy bears. There's something very cool with teddy bears.
We have a teddy bear clinic that runs March 8th and 9th, and this is a chance for kids to come out with their favorite plush animal and have it checked out by our vet team. They'll do any necessary health checkups or any necessary preventative health maintenance on the animal, and then issue a certificate of health to that animal. It's a great way to be able to get to know the vet staff, to see the hospital. If you've never been in the hospital, it's absolutely beautiful, so you have to get in and check that out. This is a very popular event, so if you're going to go to it, please go onto our website and register in advance. We do sell out for that. We can't just open the gates and allow anybody to come in with stuffed animals because we just have too many people that are interested in doing that. So you have to register in advance to do that.
Well, if you have any kid that is interested in becoming a veterinarian, this is like the thing to do. I mean, I swear to you, you will. I was that kid. That kid who had my own little vet clinic at home, and my pets hated it.
Or even if they just show an interest in caring for their pets at home or their animals or even their stuffed animal at home, if you see that kind of care going on, chances are they'll be really interested in this program. Yeah.
Okay, Easter egg hunts, there are a lot of them. But nothing is like extravaganza. That's taking place for the Easter time. And I'm going to tell you one thing. If you don't have your tickets in advance, this thing sells out instantly. I'm telling you, it's the best egg hunt in this whole town.
Right. And well, unfortunately, we're opening up the gates for that. So you don't no longer have to register in advance for it. So we could see a lot of people here that day. It's included with admission into the zoo. And now that our parking garage is finished, we can fit a lot more people into the parking lot and therefore into the zoo. So it's going to be the Saturday before Easter. So this year, that's the 19th of April. Make your plans now. And it's an Easter egg hunt. And we divide it up into age groups. So you don't have 2-year-olds in with 9-year-olds hunting for eggs. And it's a swarm of children. They're like locusts on the field to collect whatever it is out there.
But it's the cutest thing ever because some of them dress up and
they're in their Sunday best, yeah.
You can find all the information for all the goings on at the Nashville Zoo's website, nashvillezoo.org. .org. It's a nonprofit.
That's right. Nonprofit organization. There's lots of ways to get involved. You can be a member. Just come out and visit us. If you're a corporation and you're looking to be able to reward your staff or your clients or, some VIPs, you can buy bulk rate tickets that are good any day for the entire year from the time that you buy them for an entire year. So you can hand those out. You can buy like 20, 50, 150, however many you want. If it's above 20, we're giving you a bulk rate at it. And then you can hand those out individually to people as they come into town, as they need something to do, as a gift for them and their family members. Really great way to be able to offer something back up to the community and support a great nonprofit.
Employee of the month. Here's your tickets to the zoo.
Perfect.
I love it. NashvilleZoo.org. Bulk rate zoo tickets. Great gift idea.
Yeah, I know. It's a great way to go.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about the wizards behind us. That's when I was little, there was a kid that I went to school with and he could not say his L's and it was always wizards.
Wizards, yeah.
Hey, do you know a wizard?
When we get back, we're going to be talking about the wizards.
We're going to wizards. The rhino iguanas next on What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo.
Having fun?
Yeah, I'm going to key of my own pretty soon. Me too.
Good night, Kia guy. Good night.
Buckle up, Dad.
There yet?
At Kia of Murfreesboro, we're here whether you're ready or not.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door. That starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
Welcome back, everybody. I love doing segments at the zoo because I learn all about new animals, and we have got some great animals, don't we?
Oh, I know. This one today is our rhino iguana that's sitting right behind. There's actually 2 of them right behind it. And your executive producer over here was just asking me if they were real because
they didn't move.
She said, he's not moving. And I said, well, that's the way reptiles work. They don't move sometimes. But if you stay long enough, you'll see them blink and move.
And I got questions. So we got the expert with us.
That's right. We got Holly Corneal with us, and she's going to answer, first of all, why do they move so seldom?
Yes, so these guys, they live a very sedentary lifestyle. So for us, it would be considered kind of lazy, laying back all the time, just relaxing. But
watching Netflix.
Watching Netflix, staying warm and cozy. But for these guys, that is completely happy, normal, healthy iguana behavior.
Gotcha. And
They're conserving their energy as well.
okay, conserving
Not a
energy.
lot of
That's
cardio.
where they- yeah.
Not a lot of cardio at all.
Sounds good. So tell us a little bit about these guys.
Yeah, so these two individuals, these are our rhinoceros iguanas, as we mentioned. The smaller of the two is our female Betty. She's 28 years old. And
Betty,
then
I
she's
love
a sweetheart.
her name. Yes.
And then her older brother here, Toshi, they are siblings. He's 32 years old.
Gotcha.
Whoa, I didn't know they lived that long.
Yeah, they can actually live up to 40 years in captivity. So
Whoa.
it's a very long time.
Is that Betty White?
It is Betty White,
Okay,
the
so
one and only.
Betty White has actually been out to TV stations, and last year she picked the Super Bowl winner. So yeah, we had her on a TV station
Yes.
picking the Super Bowl.
Well, she's here on our habitat. She's relaxing a bit, so taking a nice vacation.
Fantastic.
I wonder if she picked the winning team this year at the Super Bowl.
I bet she would.
We didn't have her pick this year. We went with other animals. We have other animals.
Oh,
that-
you have other animals.
We have a
pick
whole
for the
line
Super
of
Bowl.
animals that are waiting to make that prediction.
Yeah.
Right? So we have a procession of predictors.
Well, but the raptors that are out there, all those big birds, they were all kind of. It was kind of, they kind of like, hey,
They were a little
we have
biased.
to pick them. We have to pick them. It's the
That's
Eagles.
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you said they live a long time. Do they eat? What do they eat?
Yes, they do eat. These guys, they are considered omnivores. So, if you like dinosaurs like I do, you have your T-Rex, which is going to be your carnivore. It's going to be your meat eater.
Right.
You have your Brontosaurus, which is going to be your long-necked dinosaur
Yeah.
eating leaves and plants and stuff. These guys are omnivores. So omni means all, vor means to eat. So these guys are going to be eating a little bit of everything. So at this stage in their life, they're adults. They're going to be eating a lot of plant material. That's going to consist of leaves, brush, flowers, fruits, any sort of thing that they can find. Really, if they can fit it in their mouth, they'll try it.
Oh, wow.
So these guys, they're pretty adventurous, is
So
what I
like
like to say.
insects and stuff like that, they would eat
Everything.
as well?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
What about
especially
little rodents?
if
they might try it.
If they can catch them.
If they can catch
them. If they can catch it, they might
Yeah.
try it. Especially as young
Slow-moving
guys.
mouse.
Exactly. You really got to move in slow motion. So as young guys, they'd be eating a lot of protein, so a lot of insects, crustaceans, that kind of stuff. Whereas in adult phase, at this stage
Yeah.
in their life, like I said, a lot of plant material. So got to keep regular. So
Okay, people have iguanas as pets.
Yes.
Do any people have rhinoceros iguana as a pet?
They are a pretty common pet in the exotic pet trade. I definitely don't recommend it. They have very specialized care that obviously we at the zoo
Okay.
are more than happy to provide and are capable of
Yeah.
providing. But for your average Joe or Jane, that's going to be a very, very difficult thing to provide for them. They have very specialized needs. So
And
they live for a long time.
It looks like we're at a beach. So
Yeah.
is this their native habitat? To talk to me a little bit about
Yeah,
that. Is
absolutely.
it arid? Is there a lot of water?
So these guys, they come from the island of Hispaniola. So it's the island shared by Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
They live on the south side of the island on the nice rocky beaches there, which is why we have our nice rocky beach.
South side
Yes.
of the garden.
Right.
So they have these nice, beautiful, just humid weather days. Like it may not rain too much, or excuse me, it does rain quite a bit, but there's not a lot of standing fresh water, so they're surrounded by salt water. Like these guys, they like it hot and humid, but they also like it a little bit dry. They don't like to get wet.
And
So-
do they get,
Oh,
you said
okay.
there's not a lot of fresh water. Do they get their water from the plants that they eat?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. These guys have a very special adaptation that they're able to get all the water that they need from the foods that they eat, which is why they're eating a lot of plant-like materials. So,
Fantastic.
Well, they don't like water, but can they swim?
I mean, if they needed to, if they needed to, they could get out of a body of water. It would probably be fine, but they're not going to dip their toes in the water if they have the choice.
Oh, okay. I just wonder because you see those stories about in Florida when it has these weird cold days and they have iguanas that literally fall out of the tree.
Yeah,
into
those
the-
guys, so those are like, your standard regular iguana that a lot of people think about. They think about those ones in Florida that are falling out of the trees. That's what people are experienced with. So these guys, they're kind of like distant cousins.
Oh, okay.
So they're technically in a different genus, different species. These guys, they come from Hispaniola. Like I said, those other guys, the green iguanas, they come from Central and South America. So close, but not quite the same.
Do you have to wash your hands a lot? I mean, like,
absolutely.
like iguanas you have to watch with salmonella, just like chickens. You have to watch that with that.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
if you're going to have those as a pet, any kind of iguana, you're going to have to worry about that kind of
Yes,
situation.
absolutely. Yeah. Any sort of reptile, amphibian, any sort of pet, you should always be washing your hands, be mindful of that kind of thing. You don't want to accidentally get sick. You don't want to accidentally get them sick. So
Holly, what brought you here and what made you decide to become a herpetology expert?
Yeah, thank you for the expert title.
Well, yes. Well, that's what all of our people at the Nashville Zoo really are
Yes,
experts.
these guys they're very knowledgeable. So I have always loved reptiles and amphibians from a young kid. I mean, I grew up watching Steve Irwin, loved that guy, he's fantastic. But then what really sold it for me was thankfully my coworkers here. That I started as an intern in college. I worked here for a couple years doing that, and then I came on about five and a half years ago as a full-time employee and have just loved it ever since. So these guys, my coworkers that I have, they have just really truly inspired just my seeking of knowledge and my passion for these guys. They're amazing.
What school did you go to?
I went to Tennessee State University. So
Well, that's
over there
wonderful.
in West Nashville.
And they have an internship program.
Yes, so technically it's through the zoo. So the zoo has the internship program.
Okay.
I just happen to be, that's where I went for college. So I just have a general biology degree there. Nothing too niche or anything, but.
Now, when you come to the zoo, where can we find the rhinoceros iguanas?
Yep, the rhinoceros iguanas are located here in our Unseen New World building. It's our reptile and fish house. So there's plenty of animals to be seen in here. They're my favorites. But.
Right. The proper way to see the unseen new world is when you come in the doors, you turn to the right and you visit the whole, it's a big circle.
Yes,
so you
go
visit the whole thing
counterclockwise.
counterclockwise, and the rhinoceros iguana is the first exhibit you'll come to, so you can't miss it.
Yep.
And coming soon, we've got a new jellies exhibit coming soon.
We have jellyfish that are planned. I wish I could give you an opening date, but we're still working on it.
But
So,
they're
yeah,
on their
I can't
way.
give you any
They
more
are the most
information.
fascinating
They're
creatures
going
to
to be
watch.
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just sit there and watch them all day.
Mesmerizing.
Right across from we're staring at it now, right across
I
from the
know.
rhino iguana's big jellyfish tank.
If
We're
there were a
working on it.
channel on Netflix like they have the fireplace, if they had the jelly channel,
Yeah.
it'd be me.
I'm going to set up my office out here when
Perfect.
they set up there. People won't bother me.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, you guys come see the rhinoceros iguana and all the things in the Unseen New World exhibit at the Nashville Zoo.
That's right. And coming up next, we've got Arlie's back. She's going to bring us some special little critters that we can
It's not a
enjoy.
snake.
It's not a snake.
Thank
It's something
you, Lord.
even better. Even better.
Even better. Well, what you don't know, it secretly is one of my favorite animals in the world.
Ooh,
Yes.
very
right.
exciting.
Yes. And it's not an insect. Not a snake, not an insect. What has Arlie brought us? You'll have to watch and find out.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
You girls having fun?
Yeah, I'm going to key of my own pretty soon. Me too.
Good night, Kia guy. Good night.
Buckle up, Dad.
Are we there yet?
At Kia of Murfreesboro, we're here whether you're ready or not.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bartoo, and Arlie joins us now with a new friend.
Yeah, Arlie, tell us what What is this? Is this it's not a dolphin.
It's not a dolphin. It's not a penguin.
It's not a turtle.
It's not a turtle. This is Aragog, and Aragog is a curly-haired tarantula.
A curly-haired tarantula. Have you ever heard such a
Yeah,
thing?
natural perm.
I was going to say. So is it like a perm? I'm not seeing the curly hair.
Yeah, so they do get their name from those hairs that kind of spike out of their bodies. They're not necessarily curly, but they kind of act like little, how do I say it? Like little sensory bristles.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
they do use them to sense vibrations around them. That's kind of how they detect their prey. So they do have 8 eyes, but they actually will kind of process their surroundings more so through those hairs.
8 eyes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
and they have
little
little
eyeballs.
pincers too.
They do, yeah. In the front here, so they're called pedipalps. That's kind of what they will inject their venom. They have a very mild venom, but it really is only effective to like smaller insects. So Aragog here loves to eat things like crickets. Sometimes in the wild, they'll eat other smaller insects like worms, gnats, things like that.
And there's some misconceptions that people have about tarantulas. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite things to talk about with our lesser liked species like tarantulas, roaches, snakes especially, yeah. And I speak for myself when even 3 years ago, you would not have seen me holding a tarantula like this.
Oh, really?
I think that is one of the biggest feats that I've accomplished in the zoo field and working with animals.
And picks up snakes and loves on them.
One of the biggest feats I've accomplished is getting comfortable with arthropods. Before I started here, I was terrified of them, didn't really understand them as well. But once you get comfortable with them and learn to understand and appreciate them, I think it makes a huge world of a difference for especially conservation efforts, because I think a huge step towards that is just understanding the animal. We're not asking you to love them, but as long as you understand and respect them, I think that's going to make a world of a difference for future efforts of conservation.
I love this one.
Yeah.
Looks like she was made with pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tell us a little bit about their day. Like in the
Vacation
wild,
Bible School, you have made one of these.
Typically, how would this animal spend its
So
a 24-hour period?
Yeah, so this species in particular is native to Costa Rica and can be found in parts of Nicaragua and Honduras as well. So they are predominantly nocturnal, so they will spend most of their day burrowing. They love to burrow. They are burrowers. They're not much tree dwelling or tree climbers or anything. They prefer to stay more terrestrial. So they'll spend the majority of their day kind of hiding out in burrows, and then once nightfall comes around, that's when they'll venture outside to like the entrance of their burrows and use their little hairs to kind of feel if there's any insects walking by, and that's how
I do that at night when I'm trying to go to the bathroom.
Is it jungle? Is it desert?
Yes, so they do live in like dry or rainforests areas. They can be found in like cleared rainforests too, so like where there's like dry woodlands.
Okay.
So they do prefer those warmer tropical climates of South America.
Gotcha.
I love spiders. I love them. They represent creativity in Native American medicine. They're amazing animals, but I'm not trying to touch her because she seems very comfortable with you.
Yeah, so curly-haired tarantulas are actually one of the most docile species, so they are pretty common as pets. And I always like to share with people that if you're going to commit to having an exotic pet, or really any pet in general, it's super, super, super important to just do your research, because lots of animals, especially like ectotherms and arthropods and reptiles and as such, have very specific like temperature regulations and humidity regulations. That's super important for the maintenance of their well-being. A lot of things that oftentimes like the average person doesn't necessarily know or have background in knowing, or even have the resources to be able to fulfill those responsibilities.
Well, and PetSmart doesn't have a huge aisle of chew toys for tarantulas.
Not for tarantulas, no. But there are ways to be able to tell their like comfort level. So oftentimes when curly-haired tarantulas are stressed, they will flick those hairs. So they're little urticating hairs, which just means that they're They kind of have little barbs, and they're able to like stick to skin. So I know that like some people have an allergy. They can have a skin allergy, can't hold them free-handed like this, because they will use these back legs right here and kind of just flick them off, rub their little abdomen back here, flick them off, and create kind of like a little cloud of irritating hairs.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be kind of their main defense mechanism that they'll use to be able to warn off
porcupine.
predators.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a lot like a porcupine. It kind of uses those quills as a defense. These are just super tiny.
Not in the same way, because porcupines don't shoot their quills out like many people think. Yeah.
But she doesn't either. She'll just shake and they'll come off.
They'll kind of
right?
come off, yeah. Kind of like a little irritative cloud.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they can also kind of just rear up and lift their front legs up and kind of make a little hissing sound if they feel extra threatened. But oftentimes they're just going to choose to run away.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so people that are coming out to the zoo, can they see this curly-haired tarantula, or what's the best way to do that?
So the Unseen New World does have a few species of tarantulas that guests can see on exhibit, but these guys do live behind the scenes.
Okay.
So we do have 3 tarantulas that live behind the scenes. We have 2 curly hairs and 1 Brazilian black tarantula, and so they're ambassadors. So they really only come out for special educational purposes, events and programs like this.
Right.
And then we do bring them out for things like Boo at the Zoo, Brew at the Zoo, SIPs, and other events that we have on zoo grounds.
We know about the experience opportunities that people can take advantage of while they're out here, like when they're walking around the zoo and you guys might be standing out there with an animal. Would this be one of those?
Absolutely.
Okay.
An ambassador animal. Okay.
Yeah. For species that thrive better in warmer climates, you'll most often find us indoors. So places like the Unseen New World, gift shop, indoor bear and tiger exhibits are also really good places for us to hold educational encounters with some of our warmer climate animals. But during the summertime, it's fair game. We like to bring out everything to show to everyone that comes to visit the zoo.
Ariel is a little one that wrote us and said, I see people sometimes at the zoo feeding things.
Yeah.
We're talking about people who come to the zoo. What animals can we feed when we come to the zoo? So I thought that was a really good question.
Oh, wow. That is a really good question. Man, feeding. Okay, so lorikeets is a really good example of what you can feed. We have little cups of nectar. You can walk in. Lorikeets are Australian parrots. They're small birds that are from Australia. Very colorful.
Okay.
You walk inside to their exhibit, so it's a free flight area. They're flying all around you, and you can take in little cups of nectar, and they'll land on your hands and come and drink out of cups of nectar.
Then that's not fun.
Yeah. Outside of that, it's really kind of on a case-by-case basis. We don't really have a whole lot of open feeding opportunities for animals. We need to regulate.
But the petting zoo?
No, occasionally they might bring animals out, but we don't have like one of those coin machines where you
don't.
crank
Okay,
out
okay.
like
So?
an ice cream cone full of pellets. We don't have that. And it's mainly because we need to be able to control the animals' diets. And so we have sometimes that we feed them. So they're on a diet that we designate for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes that might involve us coming out and letting you be able to feed them. It just kind of depends. But lorikeets in general, they eat all day long. They'll eat that nectar all day long, so you can have at it with that.
Hey, there are a couple of sponsors that we need to thank.
Yep.
We have got Kia of Murfreesboro, and they are so awesome. If you need to get your, my service light just went ding. If yours just went ding, you need to go see them over at the Kia of Murfreesboro and say hello to all those folks over there. They're the greatest service department ever. You can get a new car there too, but I mean, service, that's where it's at.
That's right. We also have Busy Bee plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. So if you need any of those services, Busy Bee's ready to help you out. This is a good time of year to be able to check that air conditioning. It's going to be hot soon, so it's a good idea to get all that checked out. Make sure your plumbing's all in working order. Give them a call.
Well, you know, when you call people like Busy Bee, you call them when it is an emergency and you go, who's those people? Who are those people that sponsors the, just write it down now, put it on your refrigerator, put it on the back of your toilet and say, if you have a toilet problem, call Busy Bee. Call the bee. Call the bee.
All right.
Well, you know, are we done?
Yeah.
It
It's
just
wrapped up.
like zoomed so quickly today. I mean, there's so much fun stuff to see at the Nashville Zoo. Don't forget, get a family membership because that is the money. It's so well spent. Even on bad days, people come to the zoo and they walk around. They've got their little umbrellas and their umbrella strollers. And it's pleasant no matter what day. And, you know, animals will come out in the rain.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
they
We have
love
some
it.
animals love the rain. So, yeah, it's a good time to come out.
They don't hide from the rain like us human people are. You know, we hide from the rain sometimes, but nope, you can see a lot of animals and they're
Sure.
and maybe some that you wouldn't see on a hot day that's full of sun.
That's right. Yeah. Rain cools them off, so they'll be out. Some of them get really active.
NashvilleZoo.org. See you next time. Bye.